Hey guys, I'm here with a review on Personal Demons by Gregory Lamberson, and here's the author, and this is the cover, and it's part of the Jake Helman files. And what it's about is it's about the main character, Jake Helman, is he's an elite member of the New York Special Homicide Task Force, and he's trying to track down this cipher, which is a serial killer that's attacking New York, and he um, basically he shoots these two gangbangers, and because they have to do an investigation, just purely regulations, they have to do a drug test, and due to his extracurricular activities, he doesn't want to, and so right then and there, he's like, oh, I'll bring you you know, um, my blood or whatever later for you to do the test, and they're like, no, I have to do it now, and he's like, okay, I resign, like I'm done, I quit, and they're just like, wow, really, and then because he quits that, he goes to this. There's this big, huge, kind of like it reminds me of Donald Trump. It's this guy Nicholas Tower, and he owns this building called the Tower, and they're doing all like uh, these controversial experiments and stuff to do like genetically engineered vegetables and genetically engineered um, like different creatures and stuff like that. And so no one really likes him, but he has this huge, company and this huge following, and he's all this money, and that that company comes to Jake Helman, and Jake has had no affiliation with this company before, and they call him and they're like, oh, we heard about your resignation, and we'd like you to come work for us. And it was all pretty much just like right there, like, can you come in and talk to us? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then they told him everything, and they're like, okay. And he's like, well, when can I work? They're like, right now, actually. And so it was all kind of really sketchy and stuff like that. And um so yeah, he does that, and he finds out that they're doing these really creepy experiments and really controversial, and um he just doesn't agree. And so this book is over, I'd say, a period of 3-4 days. So it was a really quick read. Like, it's a pretty long book. It's about 377 pages. It's kind of thick, and the font is, I guess, normal if you want to see it. Um, so yeah. So overall, I give it, like, on my scale, I give it a 2.5 out of 3, and then like on a 5 rating, just like 4.5. Only because I read it in about a day and a half, and it was a really quick read. I really liked it. It just didn't completely blow me away, so I don't think it deserves a 5 because it wasn't like amazing. But definitely check it out. It's the Jake Helman files, and it's Personal Demons. The second one is Desperate Souls, and the third one is called Cosmic Forces. I'll be getting that today, and they're all by Gregory Lamberson. Name. And I love these covers. They're so, like, they remind me of like a graphic novel. Um, but yeah, so Personal Demons. So Jake Helman is you find out at the beginning and on the back of the book, he's battling a cocaine addiction, and he's a crooked cop because he works with this drug dealer, and the drug dealer pays him off basically, so he has drug money, and he buys cocaine, and he has a cocaine addiction, and all this stuff. But he's still a likable character. You kind of feel for him because we've all made dumb decisions. I mean, not necessarily cocaine and working with a drug dealer, but I'm sure we all make mistakes every single day, and we all do things we're not proud of, but we're still good people, some of us. And so he wasn't an ass, he wasn't a bad person, but throughout the book, he starts becoming a better person. He starts working on his issues and stuff like that, and you just, more and more as you're reading it. When I read it, I started to really like him, and really, fall in love with his character and stuff like that. And he's the only man character. I guess the other main character is Nicholas Tower, and he's the one, like I said, he reminded me of Donald Trump. He owns this whole corporation, and he has all this money and stuff like that. And he was just the typical like a dictator sort of, he owns this big company and he has money and he basically thinks he's God. And which in this book he sort of is in a sense, but he's just not a likable character at all. Him and his assistant, Kira, I think is her name. She's just, oh my god, they both, like, throughout the book, just more and more, I was like, I want to strangle them. They were just driving me crazy. But it was still very well written. Like, I notice when I read books and the character is supposed to make you angry, I still tend to not like the book because it makes me so angry that I'm just like, I can't, I just have to put it down. But this book wasn't like that. It made me want to read more, and so I think it was written on that border where it drove you crazy because it's supposed to, but it was still like made you want to read more, in my opinion. And it definitely reminded me of Dean Koontz' novel because Dean Koontz has a certain way of writing, and I don't even know how to explain it. I think if I read a book and no one told me who it was by, I could kind of tell. And so this book reminded me of his writing, and especially because it's his type of story, it's really weird and not weird in the sense where it didn't make sense, but it was just like some parts I was just like, what is that? And so I definitely suggest reading it if you're a Dean Koontz fan or just that type of it's kind of a crime novel, like a Lisa Gardner, John Grisham type of novel, but it also has I guess a science fiction feel to it, the whole creepiness. So if you're a fan of all that put together, which I am, I'm not a huge fan of science fiction, but and I'm trying to think, it's not like Star Trek science fiction or I don't know, I don't want to give anything away, but it definitely has a science fiction feel to it, which I don't like, but I liked in this book because it just kind of added to it. It wasn't just a straight, murder mystery because sometimes that gets kind of boring too. But yeah, I give it like 2.5 out of 3 stars. It didn't amaze me, but I did. It was a page turner for sure because I read it in like a day and a half, and it's a pretty thick book. So yeah, like definitely go check it out, and it is part of a series if you like series. And I think I said before in my book haul that you don't. I was under the impression that you didn't have to read them together, but you definitely do because I'm about a third of the way through this one, and there's a lot of references to the first one that you wouldn't understand if you didn't read the first one. So this is the second. I really, really love this cover. Oh, and I also lied. I said that the whole series was about zombies. It's not. This one definitely is, but this one isn't. So, well, yeah. So, I love these covers. I think they're really well drawn and everything, and it continues in the back too. And so I'll be doing. I really like this one so far too. Not as much as this one, as the first one, but I'll be doing a review on this one too. I'll just if you haven't read this, then don't watch this review when I do it. But yeah, and then I'll also be doing a book haul tomorrow because I just got a bunch of books from the dollar store. Our local dollar store has a book section, but it's like basically 3 shelves. And when I walked past it a couple times, all it had was like those political books and how-to books. And I didn't really want to, because I read any kind of novel, really, as long as it's a novel, I'll read it. And so I didn't really want to check it out, but I did one day, and I found about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7 books, and they're all novels. So I'll be doing a book haul tomorrow of about 7 or 8 books, and then the library haul too, because I'm going to the library today. So yeah, and I'm also gonna do a review on Mr. Gerber and Shutter Island by Dennis Lane because they were just one of my favorite books, and I just thought I'd do a review on it. So yeah, stay tuned for the book haul tomorrow, and today I might be doing a book on Mr. Gerber and Shutter Island. So in conclusion, go check the series out. It's not very well known, at least to me. I haven't ever heard of the author or anything, but I saw it at the library and I thought I'd check it out. And it definitely surprised me. I thought it was going to be kind of crappy, but it was very, very good. And this cover is really interesting too. When you read the book, you'll see what it is and everything and how it portrays or presents the story. Yeah, so I'm babbling, and this is probably a horrible review, so I'm sorry. But yeah, go check that out and stay tuned for a couple reviews today. So happy reading.